Hello and welcome to the Sleepy Yesteryear Archive. Tonight we drift slowly through the Voyages of Discovery, Magellan, Cook, and the Age of Exploration, a 2-hour journey for sleep. There are no adverts, no music stings, just calm narration to carry you toward rest. Settle in, dim your lights, close your eyes, and let history take you into deep sleep. It's a chilly winter morning in 1480, and a young apprentice named Tomás is standing on the dock in Lisbon, Portugal, watching as the sailors and traders scramble to prepare for the day's voyages. The smell of salt water and freshly baked bread fills the air, and Tomás can hear the sound of seagulls crying overhead as he gazes out at the fleet of ships bobbing gently in the harbor. He's been working for a local merchant for a few months now, learning the ins and outs of the trade, and today he's been tasked with helping to load a cargo of spices and textiles onto one of the ships bound for the Mediterranean. As Tomás works, he can't help but feel a sense of excitement and wonder at the stories he's heard of the far-off lands that these ships will visit. He's heard tales of the rich cities of Italy and the exotic spices of the East Indies, and he longs to see these places for himself one day. But for now, he's content to listen to the sailors and traders as they spin their yarns of adventure and danger on the high seas. Tomás notices the map of the world that's been pinned up on the wall of the merchant's office, showing the various trade routes and the locations of the different ports and cities that the ships will visit. The map appears to be hand-drawn and is adorned with intricate illustrations of sea monsters and other mythical creatures. Tomás wonders what it would be like to sail to the edge of the map, to see what lies beyond the boundaries of the known world. As he continues to work, Tomás can't help but feel a sense of curiosity about the world beyond Lisbon. He's heard rumors of a new route to Asia that some of the sailors are talking about, a route that could potentially cut months off the traditional journey and give the Portuguese a significant advantage in the spice trade. Tomás isn't sure what to make of these rumors, but he's eager to learn more. He's been watching the European explorers who have been arriving in Lisbon, sharing tales of their journeys and the new lands they've discovered. Tomás is fascinated by their stories and can't help but feel a sense of awe at the bravery and cunning that these explorers have shown. As the day wears on, Tomás takes a break to walk along the dock and look out at the ships. He sees the different flags and symbols that adorn the sails and hulls, and he wonders what stories each of these ships could tell. He notices the way that the light reflects off the water, creating a dazzling display of color and movement. Tomás feels a sense of peace wash over him as he stands there, listening to the sound of the waves and the cries of the seagulls. It's moments like these that he feels most alive, most connected to the world around him. As he stands there, lost in thought, Tomás can't help but wonder what the future holds for him and for the world. He knows that he's living in a time of great change and upheaval, a time when the old certainties are being challenged and new possibilities are emerging. But for now, he's content to simply be, to soak in the sights and sounds of the world around him, and to let his imagination run wild with the possibilities. As the sun begins to set, Tomás makes his way back to the merchant's office, feeling grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this vibrant and bustling community. He knows that he's just a small part of a much larger story, one that's still unfolding, and he's excited to see what the future holds. Over the next few weeks, Tamaz finds himself increasingly fascinated by the stories of the European explorers, and he begins to spend more and more time listening to their tales and learning about the new lands they've discovered. He hears about the bravery and cunning of explorers like Christopher Columbus, who have ventured into the unknown and returned with tales of incredible riches and wonders. Tamaz is amazed by the stories of the different cultures and civilizations that these explorers have encountered, and he begins to realize just how small and insignificant his own world is in comparison to the vast and diverse world that exists beyond the horizon. As he listens to these stories, Tamaz starts to feel a sense of restlessness, a sense that there's more to life than the familiar routines and rhythms of his daily existence. He begins to dream of adventure and exploration, of setting sail for distant lands and discovering new and exciting things. And as he drifts off to sleep at night, Tamaz can't help but wonder what the future holds and whether he'll ever have the chance to embark on his own journey of discovery. The Age of Discovery is a time of great change and upheaval, and Tamaz is just one of many people who are being swept up in the excitement and uncertainty of it all. As the years go by, Tamaz will find himself increasingly caught up in the tides of history, and he'll have to navigate the challenges and opportunities that this new era presents. But for now, he's just a young apprentice, standing on the dock in Lisbon and wondering what the future holds. The sound of the waves and the cries of the seagulls are still echoing in his mind as he falls asleep, and he knows that he'll be back on the dock again tomorrow, watching and waiting as the ships come and go. But for now, let's just focus on Magellan and the sense of wonder and curiosity that is driving him to explore the world. As we watch Magellan go about his daily routine, we can see the beginnings of a great era of exploration and discovery. The 15th to 17th centuries will be a time of significant geographic, cultural, and economic change, as European explorers like Magellan set out to discover new lands and establish new trade routes. And as we follow him on his journey, we'll see the world through his eyes and experience the thrill of discovery that defined this great era of exploration. The city of Lisbon is a bustling hub of activity, with merchants and traders coming and going from all over the world. The sound of different languages and the smell of exotic spices fill the air, and Magellan can't help but feel a sense of awe at the diversity of the world around him. As he walks through the streets, he passes by the great Cathedral of Lisbon and the Royal Palace, where the King and Queen of Portugal hold court. The city is a center of learning and culture, and Magellan is eager to soak up as much knowledge as he can. As the days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months, Magellan becomes more and more fascinated by the stories of the great explorers who have come before him. He reads about the voyages of the Vikings and the journeys of the great Arab traders. He studies the maps and charts of the ancient Greeks and the writings of the great geographer Ptolemy. And as he does, he begins to formulate his own plans for exploration, plans that will eventually take him to the farthest reaches of the globe. The world is a big and mysterious place, and Magellan is eager to explore it. He's not thinking about the dangers and challenges that lie ahead, or the obstacles that he'll face on his journey. He's just a young man with a sense of wonder and curiosity and a desire to see what's out there. And as we follow him on his journey, we'll see the world through his eyes and experience the thrill of discovery that defined this great era of exploration. As the months pass, Magellan becomes more and more determined to set out on his own journey of discovery. As the months pass, Magellan becomes more and more determined to set out on his own journey of discovery. He spends every spare moment studying the maps and charts of the great explorers who have come before him, poring over the accounts of their voyages and the wonders they encountered. He is especially fascinated by the stories of the Spice Islands, the fabled lands of gold and riches that lie beyond the reaches of the known world. Magellan's imagination is fired by the thought of these exotic places, and he becomes increasingly convinced that he can find a new route to them, one that will bring him wealth and glory. He begins to share his ideas with his friends and colleagues, and while some of them are skeptical, others are caught up in his enthusiasm. Together, they start to make plans for a voyage, gathering information and resources, and seeking out the support of wealthy patrons. Magellan's passion and conviction are infectious, and soon he has a small but dedicated team of followers who are willing to take a chance on his dream. As they work together, Magellan's vision begins to take shape, and he starts to see the possibility of a new era of exploration and discovery. In the quiet moments, when he is alone with his thoughts, Magellan wonders what lies ahead. He thinks about the long and difficult journey that he will have to undertake, the dangers and challenges that he will face, and the uncertainties that he will have to overcome. But he also thinks about the potential rewards, the thrill of discovery, and the sense of wonder that comes from exploring the unknown. Magellan's heart is filled with a sense of excitement and trepidation as he contemplates the great adventure that lies ahead. As the days turn into weeks, Magellan's plans begin to take on a more concrete form. He starts to assemble a team of experienced sailors and navigators, men who have spent their lives at sea and know the risks and challenges of exploration. He also begins to gather the supplies and equipment that he will need, from food and water to maps and navigational instruments. Magellan's attention to detail is meticulous, and he leaves nothing to chance, knowing that the success of his voyage will depend on his ability to prepare for every eventuality. One of the men who joins Magellan's team is a young sailor named Antonio Pigafetta. Pigafetta is a skilled navigator and cartographer, and he is eager to join Magellan on his voyage. He is fascinated by the stories of the Spice Islands, and he is convinced that Magellan's plan to find a new route to them is a sound one. As Pigafetta works with Magellan, he begins to see the world through his eyes, and he is struck by the older man's sense of wonder and curiosity. Pigafetta is a talented writer, and he starts to keep a journal of their journey, recording every detail of their progress, from the sights and sounds of the places they visit to the challenges and dangers that they face. As the day of their departure approaches, Magellan and his team are filled with a sense of anticipation and excitement. They know that they are about to embark on a great adventure, one that will take them to the farthest reaches of the known world and beyond. They are aware of the risks and challenges that they will face, but they are also filled with a sense of hope and optimism, knowing that they are on the threshold of a new era of exploration and discovery. Magellan's vision is clear, and he is convinced that he can lead his team to success and make history in the process. The months of planning and preparation are finally over, and Magellan's team is ready to set sail. They gather on the dock, surrounded by their friends and family, and they say their goodbyes. Magellan takes a moment to look out at the sea, feeling the wind in his hair and the sun on his face. He takes a deep breath, savoring the smell of the salt air and the sound of the gulls crying overhead. He knows that he is about to embark on a journey that will change his life forever, and he is filled with a sense of wonder and excitement. As they set sail, Magellan's team is filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. They know that they are on the threshold of a great adventure, one that will take them to the farthest reaches of the known world and beyond. They are aware of the risks and challenges that they will face, but they are also filled with a sense of hope and optimism, knowing that they are on the verge of a new era of exploration and discovery. Magellan's vision is clear, and he is convinced that he can lead his team to success and make history in the process. The voyage begins, and Magellan's team settles into a routine. They sail through the day and anchor at night, taking turns to keep watch and to navigate their course. They face challenges and dangers, from storms and rough seas to encounters with hostile tribes and wild animals. But they persevere, driven by their sense of wonder and their determination to reach their goal. Magellan's leadership is calm and steady, and he inspires his team to work together and to support each other as they face the challenges of their journey. As the weeks turn into months, Magellan's team becomes a close-knit family. They share their food and their stories, and they rely on each other for support and comfort. They are a diverse group, from different backgrounds and with different skills, but they are united in their quest for discovery and their desire to explore the unknown. Magellan's vision is clear, and he is convinced that he can lead his team to success and make history in the process. The journey is long, and it is fraught with danger, but Magellan's team is driven by their sense of wonder and their determination to reach their goal. They are on the threshold of a new era of exploration, and they are aware of the significance of their journey. They know that they are about to make history, and they are filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. Magellan's leadership is calm and steady, and he inspires his team to work together and to support each other as they face the challenges of their journey. As they sail through the vast expanse of the ocean, Magellan's team is filled with a sense of awe and wonder. They see the beauty of the sea and the majesty of the stars, and they are struck by the vastness and the mystery of the universe. They are on a journey of discovery, and they are aware of the significance of their quest. They know that they are about to make history, and they are filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. Magellan's vision is clear, and he is convinced that he can lead his team to success and make history in the process. The days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months. Magellan's team faces many challenges, and they overcome many obstacles. They are driven by their sense of wonder and their determination to reach their goal. They are on the threshold of a new era of exploration, and they are aware of the significance of their journey. They know that they are about to make history, and they are filled with a sense of excitement and anticipation. Magellan's leadership is calm and steady, and he inspires his team to work together and to support each other as they face the challenges of their journey. As they continue on their journey, Magellan's team begins to notice the changes in the sea. and the sky. They see the stars in a different position, and they feel the temperature of the air changing. They are getting closer to their destination, and they can sense the excitement and the anticipation building up inside them. Magellan's vision is clear, and he is convinced it's a warm evening in September 1522, and Juan Sebastián Elcano, the Spanish explorer, is standing on the deck of the Victoria, the last remaining ship of Magellan's fleet, gazing out at the horizon as the sun sets over the Atlantic Ocean. The air is filled with the smell of salt water and the sound of seagulls flying overhead, and Elcano can feel the gentle breeze on his face as he reflects on the incredible journey they've been on. They've sailed around the world, discovering new lands, meeting new people, and experiencing things that no one from their time could have ever imagined. As he looks out at the endless blue waters, Elcano can't help but think about the profound impact their voyages have had on the world, and how they've changed the course of history forever. The transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds has been a significant consequence of their discoveries, and Elcano knows that this exchange will have far-reaching effects on the ecosystems and cultures of the regions they've visited. He thinks about the new crops they've introduced to the New World, like wheat and barley, and how they've brought back exotic spices and plants from the East Indies to the Old World. He remembers the strange and wonderful animals they've encountered, like the llamas and alpacas of South America, and the birds with bright feathers that they've never seen before. As the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, Elcano's mind wanders back to the people they've met on their journey, the indigenous populations of the Americas, the traders and merchants of the East Indies, and the other explorers and sailors who have joined them on their quest. He thinks about the challenges they've faced, the diseases they've encountered, and the conflicts they've had with the native populations. But he also thinks about the friendships they've formed, the alliances they've made, and the knowledge they've gained from the people they've met. The Victoria is a small ship, but it's carried a big dream, and Elcano knows that their journey is just the beginning of a new era of exploration and discovery. As he looks out at the horizon, he can see the outline of the Portuguese coast, and he knows that they're getting close to their final destination. The crew is tired but excited, and they are all eager to return home, to share their stories and their discoveries with the world. Elcano takes a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill his lungs, and he knows that their journey may be ending, but its impact will be felt for generations to come. The days pass slowly as the Victoria sails up the Portuguese coast, and Elcano can feel the anticipation building up inside him. They're getting closer to the end of their journey, and he knows that it's going to be a bittersweet moment. They've been through so much together, and they've become like a family, bound together by their shared experiences and their quest for discovery. As they sail into the harbor, Elcano can see the crowds of people waiting for them, cheering and waving, and he knows that their journey is finally over. The crew of the Victoria is greeted as heroes, and they are showered with praise and admiration. Elcano is hailed as a leader and a visionary, and he's honored for his bravery and his determination. But as he looks out at the crowds, he knows that their journey is not just about them. It's about the people they've met, the lands they've discovered, and the knowledge they've gained. It's about the impact they've had on the world and the changes they've brought about. As the celebrations die down and the crew of the Victoria begins to disperse, Elcano is left alone with his thoughts. He thinks about the journey they've been on and the things they've seen and experienced. He thinks about the people they've met and the friends they've made. And he thinks about the impact they've had on the world and the changes they've brought about. It's been a long and difficult journey, but it's been worth it because they've discovered a new world and they've changed the course of history forever. The sun is setting over the harbor, casting a golden glow over the water, and Elcano can feel a sense of peace and contentment wash over him. He knows that their journey may be over, but its impact will be felt for generations to come. He thinks about the generations that will follow and the discoveries they will make and the changes they will bring about. And he knows that their journey is not just a footnote in history, but a new chapter, a new beginning, and a new era of exploration and discovery. As the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, Elcano's mind wanders back to the sea and the endless possibilities that lie beyond the horizon. He knows that there's still so much to discover, so much to explore, and so much to learn. And he knows that the journey of discovery is never truly over, because there's always a new horizon to chase, a new sea to sail, and a new world to discover. The Victoria may have sailed around the world, but Elcano knows that the true journey is only just beginning, and it's a journey that will take humanity to the farthest reaches of the globe and beyond. It's a chilly autumn morning in 1519, and you're standing on the docks of Sanlúcar de Barrameda, a small port town in southwestern Spain. The sun is slowly rising over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the bustling harbor. You can smell the salty sea air, mixed with the scent of freshly baked bread wafting from the nearby bakeries. Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer, is busy preparing for his upcoming voyage, one that will take him and his crew across the globe. He's been planning this journey for years, and finally, the day of departure has arrived. As you watch, Magellan steps onto the deck of his flagship, the Trinidad, and begins to inspect the rigging and the cargo hold. He's a tall, imposing figure, with a strong jaw and piercing brown eyes that seem to bore into the distance. You can sense the excitement and nervousness among the crew as they scramble to finish the last-minute preparations. Meanwhile, the townspeople are gathering on the docks, eager to catch a glimpse of the departing fleet. They are a mix of curious onlookers, relatives of the sailors, and local merchants who have invested in the voyage. The atmosphere is lively, with people chatting and laughing, but also a sense of trepidation hangs in the air. Many of these sailors will be gone for years, and some may never return. As Magellan gives the order to set sail, the crew scrambles to raise the anchors and hoist the sails. The Trinidad, along with 4 other ships, slowly begins to make its way out of the harbor, bound for the open sea. The crowd on the docks watches in silence as the ships disappear into the distance, their sails slowly fading into the horizon. As the fleet sails away from Sanlúcar de Barrameda, Magellan and his crew are embarking on a journey that will take them to the farthest reaches of the known world. They're not just exploring new lands, they're also searching for a new route to the Spice Islands, a group of islands in the East Indies that are renowned for their valuable spices and textiles. The Portuguese have been trying to find a westward route to the Spice Islands for years, but so far they've been unsuccessful. Magellan is convinced that he can find a way through the treacherous waters of the Atlantic and into the Pacific, where he hopes to find a new route to the East Indies. But the journey will be long and arduous, and the crew will face countless challenges along the way. One of the biggest challenges they'll face is navigating the treacherous waters of the Atlantic. The crew will have to contend with raging storms, towering waves, and unpredictable currents. They'll also have to deal with the psychological strain of being at sea for months on end, with limited supplies and no guarantee of success. But Magellan is a seasoned explorer, and he's assembled a crew of experienced sailors and officers who are eager to take on the challenge. As they sail across the Atlantic, they'll encounter new lands, new peoples, and new cultures. They'll have to adapt to unfamiliar environments and make difficult decisions that will determine the success or failure of their mission. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks turn into months, the crew of the Trinidad and its companion ships will face challenges that will test their courage, their endurance, and their resolve. They'll have to navigate through treacherous straits, avoid deadly sea creatures, and survive on limited rations. But they'll also experience moments of breathtaking beauty as they sail through crystal-clear waters, surrounded by schools of exotic fish and colorful sea birds. And as they journey deeper into the unknown, they'll begin to realize that they are not just exploring new lands. They are also exploring the limits of human endurance and the boundaries of the known world. The voyage of Magellan and his crew is a testament to the power of human curiosity and the desire for exploration. It's a story of adventure, of danger, and of discovery. And as we follow their journey, we'll learn about the people, the places, and the events that shaped the age of discovery. We'll see how the voyages of Magellan and other explorers like him helped to expand our understanding of the world and paved the way for the modern era of globalization. And we'll discover how the legacy of these explorers continues to inspire us today as we push the boundaries of human knowledge and exploration. As the Trinidad and its companion ships sail farther and farther away from the coast of Spain, they are entering a world of unknown dangers and uncharted territories. They are leaving behind the familiar comforts of home and embarking on a journey that will take them to the farthest reaches of the globe. And as they disappear over the horizon, we are left to wonder what lies ahead for them and what secrets they'll uncover as they explore the unknown. The journey of Magellan and his crew is just beginning, and it's a journey that will take them to the very limits of human endurance and beyond. The months that follow are a blur of sea and sky as the crew of the Trinidad and its companion ships sail across the Atlantic. They face countless challenges, from raging storms to mutinous crew members, but they persevere, driven by their desire to reach the Spice Islands and claim the riches that lie within. And as they sail, they begin to realize that they're not just exploring new lands, they're also exploring the limits of human knowledge and understanding. They are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and they're expanding our understanding of the world and its many wonders. As the crew of the Trinidad and its companion ships sail deeper into the unknown, they begin to encounter new and exotic lands. They see towering mountains, dense forests, and vast deserts, each one more breathtaking than the last. They meet new peoples, each with their own unique cultures and customs, and they begin to realize that the world is a much bigger and more complex place than they ever could have imagined. And as they explore these new lands, they begin to uncover secrets that have been hidden for centuries, secrets that will change our understanding of the world and its many wonders. The journey of Magellan and his crew is a journey of discovery, a journey that will take them to the very limits of human knowledge and understanding. It's a journey that will challenge them, inspire them, and ultimately change them forever. And as we follow their journey, we'll learn about the people, the places, and the events that shaped the age of discovery. We'll see how the voyages of Magellan and other explorers like him helped to expand our understanding of the world and paved the way for the modern era of globalization. And we'll discover how the legacy of these explorers continues to inspire us today as we push the boundaries of human knowledge and exploration. As the years pass, Magellan and his crew will face countless challenges, from treacherous seas to deadly diseases. They'll have to adapt to new and unfamiliar environments, and they'll have to make difficult decisions that will determine the success or failure of their mission. But they'll also experience moments of breathtaking beauty as they sail through crystal-clear waters, surrounded by schools of exotic fish and colorful sea birds. And as they journey deeper into the unknown, they'll begin to realize that they're not just exploring new lands. They are also exploring the limits of human endurance and the boundaries of the known world. The voyage of Magellan and his crew is a testament to the power of human curiosity and the desire for exploration. It's a story of adventure, of danger, and of discovery. And as we follow their journey, we'll learn about the people, the places, and the events that shaped the age of discovery. We'll see how the voyages of Magellan and other explorers like him helped to expand our understanding of the world and paved the way for the modern. As we follow the journey of these explorers, we come to the story of James Cook, a British navigator who would go on to map many previously unknown islands and coastlines in the Pacific. It's a chilly autumn morning in 1768 when Cook set sail from Plymouth, England, aboard the HMS Endeavour, a sturdy ship with a crew of nearly 100 men. The air is crisp, the sea is calm, and the sense of anticipation is palpable as Cook and his men begin their voyage to the Pacific. They've been tasked with observing the transit of Venus, a rare astronomical event that could help scientists calculate the distance between the Earth and the Sun. But Cook has also been given a secret mission to search for a rumored southern continent. As they sail south, the crew faces the harsh conditions of the open sea, with icy winds, towering waves, and the ever-present threat of scurvy. Despite these challenges, Cook is a seasoned navigator, and his crew trusts him implicitly. He's a man of few words, but his eyes sparkle with a sense of wonder and curiosity as he gazes out at the endless expanse of water. As the weeks turn into months, the Endeavour crosses the equator, and the crew is struck by the sheer beauty of the tropical islands they encounter. The air is warm, the sea is calm, and the islands are teeming with life. Cook and his men spend hours exploring the coastlines, collecting specimens and making detailed maps of the islands they visit. They're a team of skilled sailors, scientists, and artists, and each man brings his own unique perspective to the voyage. There's Joseph Banks, the young naturalist who's responsible for collecting and cataloging the plant and animal specimens they encounter. Charles Green, the astronomer who's tasked with observing the transit of Venus. And Sidney Parkinson, the artist who's sketching the landscapes and seascapes they see. Together, they are creating a detailed and comprehensive picture of the Pacific, and their discoveries will have far-reaching implications for the world of science and exploration. As the Endeavour sails deeper into the Pacific, Cook and his men encounter a diverse array of cultures and landscapes. They visit the islands of Tahiti and Hawaii, where they are greeted with a mix of curiosity and suspicion by the native populations. They see towering volcanic peaks, sparkling waterfalls, and lush forests teeming with life. And they begin to realize the sheer scale of the Pacific, with its countless islands, hidden reefs, and unpredictable weather patterns. Cook is a master navigator, but even he is humbled by the power and majesty of the ocean. He knows that the sea is a formidable foe, and that the slightest mistake can have disastrous consequences. But he's also driven by a sense of curiosity and wonder, and he's determined to explore every corner of the Pacific, no matter the risks. As the months turn into years, the Endeavour becomes a tiny speck on the horizon, a small but determined presence in the vast expanse of the Pacific. Cook and his men are a team of explorers, scientists, and sailors, bound together by a shared sense of purpose and adventure. They are on a mission to explore the unknown, to chart the uncharted, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. And as they sail deeper into the Pacific, they begin to realize that their journey is not just about discovery, but about the human spirit itself. It's a story of courage, of perseverance, and of the unquenchable thirst for knowledge that drives us all. The sun beats down on the deck of the Endeavour, casting a golden glow over the crew as they work to navigate the treacherous waters of the Pacific. The air is thick with the smell of salt and seaweed, and the sound of the waves crashing against the hull is a constant reminder of the power and majesty of the ocean. Cook stands at the helm, his eyes fixed on the horizon as he guides his ship through the choppy waters. He's a man of great experience and skill, but even he is not immune to the dangers of the sea. He knows that the Pacific is a vast and unpredictable place, full of hidden reefs and unexpected storms. But he's also driven by a sense of wonder and curiosity, and he's determined to explore every corner of the ocean, no matter the risks. As the days turn into weeks, the crew of the Endeavour settles into a routine of exploration and discovery. They spend their days sailing, charting, and collecting specimens, and their nights anchored in secluded coves, surrounded by the sounds and smells of the tropical islands. They're a team of men from different backgrounds and cultures, but they are bound together by a shared sense of purpose and adventure. They are on a mission to explore the unknown, to chart the uncharted, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. And as they sail deeper into the Pacific, they begin to realize that their journey is not just about discovery, but about the human spirit itself. It's a story of courage, of perseverance, and of the unquenchable thirst for knowledge that drives us all. The stars twinkle like diamonds in the night sky as the crew of the Endeavour sails through the darkness, guided by the soft glow of the moon. The air is cool and calm, and the sea is peaceful, with only the occasional wave breaking the silence. Cook stands at the helm, his eyes fixed on the horizon as he guides his ship through the darkness. He's a man of great experience and skill, but even he is not immune to the dangers of the sea. He knows that the Pacific is a vast and unpredictable place, full of hidden reefs and unexpected storms. But he's also driven by a sense of wonder and curiosity, and he's determined to explore every corner of the ocean, no matter the risks. As the night wears on, the crew of the Endeavour settles into a routine of rest and relaxation. They are tired but content, knowing that they've made significant progress on their journey. They're a team of men from different backgrounds and cultures, but they are bound together by a shared sense of purpose and adventure. They are on a mission to explore the unknown, to chart the uncharted, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. And as they sail deeper into the Pacific, they begin to realize that their journey is not just about discovery, but about the human spirit itself. It's a story of courage, of perseverance, and of the unquenchable thirst for knowledge that drives us all. The sun rises over the horizon, casting a golden glow over the crew of the Endeavour as they begin another day of exploration and discovery. The air is warm and calm, and the sea is peaceful, with only the occasional wave breaking the silence. Cook stands at the helm, his eyes fixed on the horizon as he guides his ship through the calm waters. He's a man of great experience and skill, but even he is not immune to the dangers of the sea. He knows that the Pacific is a vast and unpredictable place, full of hidden reefs and unexpected storms. But he's also driven by a sense of wonder and curiosity, and he's determined to explore every corner of the ocean, no matter the risks. As the days turn into weeks, the crew of the Endeavour continues to explore the Pacific, charting new islands and coastlines, and collecting specimens of the unique and exotic plants and animals they encounter. They're a team of men from different backgrounds and cultures, but they are bound together by a shared sense of purpose and adventure. They are on a mission to explore the unknown, to chart the uncharted, and to push the boundaries of human knowledge. And as they sail deeper into the Pacific, they begin to realize that their journey is not just about discovery, but about the human spirit itself. It's a story of courage, of perseverance, and of it's a chilly autumn morning in 1519, when Ferdinand Magellan sets out on his historic voyage, the first to attempt to circumnavigate the globe. He's standing on the dock, looking out at the 5 ships that will carry him and his crew on this perilous journey. The sun is just starting to rise, casting a golden glow over the harbor, and the sound of seagulls fills the air. Magellan takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, and begins to make his way to his ship, the Trinidad. As he walks, he's thinking about the long and difficult journey ahead, the unknown dangers that they'll face, and the possibility of failure. But he's also thinking about the potential rewards, the new trade routes they might establish, and the new lands they might discover. Years later, James Cook will follow in Magellan's footsteps, embarking on his own series of voyages that will take him to the farthest reaches of the Pacific. Cook's voyages will be marked by a sense of wonder and discovery as he encounters new islands and coastlines and meets the people who live there. He's a meticulous cartographer, and his maps will help to open up the Pacific to further exploration and trade. But Cook's voyages will also be marked by hardship and tragedy as he faces the challenges of the sea and the difficulties of navigating uncharted waters. As we look at the voyages of Magellan and Cook, it's clear that they had a profound impact on the world. They helped to establish new trade routes and to colonize newly discovered lands. But their voyages also had a profound impact on the people who undertook them, testing their courage, their perseverance, and their resolve. Magellan and Cook were both driven by a sense of curiosity and a desire to explore the unknown. They were willing to take risks and to face challenges in order to achieve their goals. And in the end, their voyages helped to change the course of history, opening up new possibilities for trade, colonization, and discovery. The voyages of Magellan and Cook were significant events in the age of discovery, a time of great exploration and expansion. They helped to establish Europe as a major world power and to open up the Americas, Africa, and Asia to European trade and colonization. But they also had a profound impact on the indigenous peoples of the lands they encountered, often disrupting their way of life and causing significant harm. As we reflect on the voyages of Magellan and Cook, we are reminded of the complexity and nuance of history and the need to approach it with sensitivity and respect. As the years passed, the voyages of Magellan and Cook became the stuff of legend, inspiring generations of explorers and shaping the way we think about the world. They helped to create a sense of possibility and a sense of wonder that continues to inspire us today. And as we look out at the vast expanse of the Pacific, we are reminded of the power of human curiosity and the importance of exploring the unknown. The story of Magellan and Cook is a story of adventure, of discovery, and of the human spirit. It's a story that continues to captivate us and to inspire us to this day. The legacy of Magellan and Cook can be seen in the many places that bear their names, from the Strait of Magellan at the tip of South America to the Cook Islands in the Pacific. Their voyages helped to open up the world and to create new opportunities for trade, colonization, and discovery. And as we reflect on their achievements, we are reminded of the importance of courage, perseverance, and determination. Magellan and Cook were true pioneers who helped to shape the course of history and to create a new era of exploration and discovery. As we come to the end of our journey, we are left with a sense of wonder and a sense of awe at the achievements of Magellan and Cook. Their voyages were a testament to the power of human curiosity and the importance of exploring the unknown. And as we look out at the world today, we are reminded of the need to continue exploring, to continue discovering, and to continue pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. The story of Magellan and Cook is a story that will continue to inspire us and to captivate us for generations to come. And as we drift off to sleep, we are left with a sense of peace and a sense of reflection on the incredible journey of these two brave explorers. It's a chilly autumn morning in 1493, and a young farmer named Juan is walking through the bustling streets of Seville, Spain. The smell of freshly baked bread wafts through the air, and the sound of merchants calling out their daily specials fills Juan's ears. As he walks, he notices a group of sailors gathered near the docks, their faces weathered from months at sea. They are talking about the latest news from the Indies and the incredible things they've brought back with them. Juan's curiosity is piqued, and he stops to listen. One of the sailors, a grizzled old man with a thick beard, is holding a small, exotic-looking plant. He's telling the others about the amazing crops they've discovered in the New World, and how they are already being cultivated in the Old. Juan watches as the sailor hands the plant to a local merchant, who examines it carefully before nodding and handing over a few coins. As Juan continues on his way, he can't help but wonder what other strange and wonderful things these sailors have brought back with them. He's heard rumors of gold and spices, of course, but also of strange new animals and even people from the other side of the world. It's hard to imagine what these things might look like, or how they'll change the world Juan knows. Over the next few weeks, Juan notices more and more of these exotic goods appearing in the markets. There are brightly colored birds with strange songs, and animals with fur unlike anything he's ever seen before. There are even people from the New World, dressed in clothing that's unlike anything Juan has ever seen. They seem curious and friendly, but also a bit lost in this new and unfamiliar place. As the months pass, Juan begins to realize that these new goods and people are not just curiosities, but are actually changing the way people live and work. The new crops are being planted in fields all over the countryside, and the strange new animals are being raised on farms. The people from the New World are settling in too, and are starting to build their own communities. Juan's not sure what to make of all these changes, but he's excited to see what the future might hold. One thing that's clear, though, is that the world is getting smaller. News and goods are traveling farther and faster than ever before, and the old and new worlds are becoming more and more connected. Juan wonders what other surprises the future might hold, and how these changes will affect the world he knows. Years later, as Juan looks back on this time, he'll realize that he was living through a period of profound change. The Voyages of Discovery, which had begun just a few decades earlier, were having a profound impact on the world. The transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds was just the beginning. As the years passed, new trade routes would be established, and the colonization of newly discovered lands would become a major force in shaping the world. But for now, Juan is just a young farmer, trying to make sense of the exciting and confusing world around him. He's not alone. Of course, there are millions of people like him all over the world who are trying to understand and adapt to these changes. As the seasons pass, Juan notices that the changes are not just limited to the goods and people that are arriving from the new world. The way people live and work is also changing. New technologies and techniques are being developed, and the economy is growing and shifting in response to the new trade routes and colonies. It's an exciting and uncertain time, and Juan is not sure what the future might hold. But one thing is clear: the world is changing, and it's changing fast. Juan's not sure what the consequences of all these changes will be, but he's eager to find out. He's heard rumors of a thing called the Columbian Exchange, which is supposed to be a kind of global trade network that will connect the old and new worlds like never before. He's not entirely sure what that means, but he's excited to learn more. The Columbian Exchange, as Juan will eventually learn, refers to the widespread exchange of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. It's a process that will take centuries to complete, but it will have a profound impact on the world. As the years pass, Juan will see the effects of this exchange all around him. He'll see new crops being planted and new animals being raised. He'll see people from the new world settling in, and he'll see the economy growing and shifting in response to the new trade routes and colonies. It's an exciting and uncertain time, and Juan is not sure what the future might hold. But one thing is clear: the world is changing, and it's changing fast. As Juan looks out at the changing world around him, he can't help but wonder what the future might hold. He's heard rumors of new lands being discovered and of new trade routes being established. He's heard rumors of the colonization of newly discovered lands and of the impact that this will have on the indigenous populations. He's not sure what to make of all these changes, but he's excited to see what the future might hold. One thing that's clear, though, is that the world is getting smaller. News and goods are traveling farther and faster than ever before, and the old and new worlds are becoming more and more connected. Juan wonders what other surprises the future might hold, and how these changes will affect the world he knows. The years pass, and Juan grows older. He sees the world change in ways that he never could have imagined. He sees the establishment of new colonies and the growth of new cities. He sees the development of new technologies and the expansion of trade routes. And through it all, he's reminded of the incredible impact that the Voyages of Discovery have had on the world. The transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds has changed the course of history and has created a new and interconnected world. Juan's not sure what the future might hold, but he's excited to see what's in store. He's proud to have lived through this period of profound change, and he's eager to see what the next chapter in human history might bring. As the decades turn into centuries, the impact of the Voyages of Discovery will only continue to grow. The Columbian Exchange will become a global phenomenon, connecting the old and new worlds in ways that were previously unimaginable. The colonization of newly discovered lands will become a major force in shaping the world, and the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations will continue to change the course of history. Juan's story is just one small part of this larger narrative, but it's a reminder that the Voyages of Discovery have had a profound impact on the world. The world is a smaller and more interconnected place, and the consequences of this change will be felt for centuries to come. Juan's story is a testament to the power of human curiosity and exploration, and it's a reminder that even the smallest events can have a profound impact on the world. As Juan's story fades into the background, we are left to ponder the far-reaching consequences of the Voyages of Discovery. The establishment of new trade routes, for instance, was a direct result of these expeditions, and it's fascinating to think about how this changed the way people lived and interacted with one another. Imagine being a merchant in the 16th century, suddenly having access to exotic spices and textiles from the other side of the world. The smells of cinnamon and pepper, the feel of fine silks and wool, would have been a sensory revelation, and the opportunities for trade and commerce would have been vast. One of the key figures in this new era of trade was a man named Ferdinand van Olmen, a Flemish merchant who had made his fortune in the spice trade. He was based in the port city of Antwerp, which had become a hub of commercial activity, with ships coming and going from all over the world. Van Olmen would have been familiar with the hustle and bustle of the docks, the sound of gulls crying overhead, and the smell of saltwater and tar. He would have dealt with all manner of people, from sailors and shipowners to other merchants and traders, and he would have had a keen sense of the market, knowing what goods were in demand and where to find them. As the trade routes expanded, so too did the opportunities for colonization. The Spanish and Portuguese, in particular, were eager to establish new settlements in the Americas, and they saw the Voyages of Discovery as a way to gain a foothold in the New World. They would send expeditions to explore the coastlines, to find suitable locations for settlements, and to establish trade relationships with the indigenous peoples. It was a complex and often fraught process, with many challenges and setbacks along the way. But for men like Van Olmen, the potential rewards were too great to ignore, and they were willing to take risks to establish themselves in this new and rapidly changing world. The transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds was another significant consequence of the Voyages of Discovery. This process, known as the Columbian Exchange, had a profound impact on the ecosystems of both hemispheres, and it's still being felt today. Imagine being a farmer in the Americas, suddenly having access to new crops like wheat and barley, or being a European farmer, discovering the joys of maize and potatoes. The introduction of new species would have been a gradual process, with many ups and downs, but it would have been a remarkable transformation, and one that would have changed the course of human history. As we consider the impact of the Voyages of Discovery, it's worth thinking about the people who were affected by these changes. The indigenous peoples of the Americas, for example, would have seen their worlds turned upside down as new diseases, new technologies, and new forms of social organization were introduced. It was a traumatic and often devastating experience, and one that would have been felt for generations to come. And yet, even in the midst of this upheaval, there would have been moments of wonder, of discovery, and of connection between people from different cultures. The story of the Voyages of Discovery is a complex and multifaceted one, full of twists and turns, and it's a reminder that even the smallest events can have a profound impact on the world. As we reflect on the consequences of these expeditions, we are left to ponder the what-ifs of history and to consider the ways in which the world might have been different if things had turned out otherwise. But for now, let's simply take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and complexity of this story, and to marvel at the ways in which human curiosity and exploration have shaped the world we live in today. As we continue to explore the impact of the Voyages of Discovery, we'll delve deeper into the stories of the people who were involved, and we'll examine the ways in which these events changed the course of human history. We'll look at the establishment of new trade routes, the colonization of newly discovered lands, and the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. And we'll do it all in a way that's calm, gentle, and easy to follow, so that you can relax and let the story unfold. The city of Antwerp, where Van Olmen was based, was a bustling hub of commercial activity, with merchants and traders coming and going from all over the world. The city would have been filled with the sounds of haggling and negotiation, the smells of exotic spices and textiles, and the feel of fine silks and wool. It was a place of great energy and activity, and it would have been an exciting and dynamic place to be. And yet, despite the hustle and bustle, there would have been moments of quiet reflection, of contemplation, and of connection between people from different cultures. As we imagine ourselves in the midst of this bustling city, we can begin to appreciate the complexity and richness of the world that was emerging. The Voyages of Discovery had opened up new possibilities, new opportunities, and new challenges, and they had set in motion a chain of events that would continue to unfold for centuries to come. And as we reflect on this story, we are reminded that even the smallest events can have a profound impact on the world, and that the consequences of our actions can be felt for generations to come. The story of the Voyages of Discovery is a reminder that the world is a complex and interconnected place, and that the actions of individuals can have far-reaching consequences. As we consider the impact of these expeditions, we are left to ponder the ways in which the world might have been different if things had turned out otherwise. But for now, let's simply take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and complexity of this story, and to marvel at the ways in which human curiosity and exploration have shaped the world we live in today. As the years passed, the consequences of the Voyages of Discovery continued to unfold. The establishment of new trade routes and the colonization of newly discovered lands had a profound impact on the world, leading to the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. The Columbian Exchange, as it came to be known, was a gradual process with many ups and downs, but it would have been a remarkable transformation, and one that would have changed the course of human history. The story of the Voyages of Discovery is a complex and multifaceted one, full of twists and turns, and it's a reminder that even the smallest events can have a profound impact on the world. As we reflect on the consequences of these expeditions, we are left to ponder the what-ifs of history, and to consider the ways in which the world might have been different if things had turned out otherwise. But for now, let's simply take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and complexity of this story, and to marvel at the ways in which human curiosity and exploration have shaped the world we live in today. As we continue to explore the impact of the Voyages of Discovery, we'll delve deeper into the stories of the people who were involved, and we'll examine the ways in which these events changed the course of human history. We'll look at the establishment of new trade routes, the colonization of newly discovered lands, and the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. And we'll do it all in a way that's calm, gentle, and easy to follow, so that you can relax and let the story unfold. The world is a smaller and more interconnected place, and the consequences of this change will be felt for centuries to come. The Voyages of Discovery had a profound impact on the world, leading to the establishment of new trade routes and the colonization of newly discovered lands. The Columbian Exchange, as it came to be the world, is a smaller and more interconnected place, and the consequences of this change will be felt for centuries to come. The Voyages of Discovery had a profound impact on the world, leading to the establishment of new trade routes and the colonization of newly discovered lands. The Columbian Exchange, as it came to be known, was a massive transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. This exchange had a profound effect on the ecosystems of both worlds, as well as on the cultures and economies of the people who lived in them. Imagine walking through a forest in the New World, surrounded by trees and plants that are familiar to us today, but were completely unknown to the people who lived there just a few centuries ago. The sound of birds chirping and leaves rustling in the wind fills the air, and the smell of blooming flowers wafts through the forest. This is what the world was like after the Columbian Exchange, a world where the boundaries between the old and new worlds had been blurred. One of the most significant effects of the Columbian Exchange was the transfer of crops and livestock between the two worlds. Crops like maize, potatoes, and tomatoes were introduced to the Old World, where they became staples of the diet. Meanwhile, crops like wheat, barley, and oats were introduced to the New World, where they were used to feed the growing populations of European colonizers. The introduction of livestock like cattle, pigs, and chickens also had a profound impact on the ecosystems of the New World, as they competed with native species for food and habitat. As the years passed, the effects of the Columbian Exchange only grew more pronounced. The transfer of diseases between the two worlds had a devastating impact on the indigenous populations of the New World, who had no immunity to diseases like smallpox and influenza. The population of the New World was decimated, and the social and cultural structures of the indigenous peoples were forever changed. The Columbian Exchange also had a profound impact on the economies of the old and new worlds. The establishment of new trade routes and the colonization of newly discovered lands created new opportunities for trade and commerce. The transfer of goods like gold, silver, and other precious commodities between the two worlds helped to stimulate economic growth and development. Meanwhile, the effects of the Columbian Exchange were not limited to the economic and cultural spheres. The transfer of plants and animals between the two worlds also had a profound impact on the environment. The introduction of non-native species like rats, cats, and other predators had a devastating impact on the native ecosystems of the New World. The loss of biodiversity and the degradation of ecosystems had far-reaching consequences, and the effects are still being felt today. As we look back on the voyages of discovery and the Columbian exchange, it is clear that they had a profound impact on the world. The establishment of new trade routes and the colonization of newly discovered lands created a more interconnected world, where the boundaries between different cultures and ecosystems were blurred. The effects of the Columbian exchange are still being felt today, and it is up to us to learn from the past and work towards a more sustainable and equitable future. The story of the Columbian exchange is a complex and multifaceted one, full of twists and turns. It is a story of discovery and exploration, of cultural and economic exchange, and of the profound impact that human activity can have on the environment. As we reflect on this story, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the past and its impact on the present. The consequences of the Columbian exchange are still being felt today, and it is up to us to learn from the past and work towards a more sustainable and equitable future. The world is a smaller and more interconnected place, and the effects of our actions can have far-reaching consequences. As we move forward, it is essential that we consider the impact of our actions on the world around us and work towards creating a more just and sustainable world for all. In the end, the story of the Columbian exchange is a reminder of the power of human activity to shape the world around us. It is a story of discovery and exploration, of cultural and economic exchange, and of the profound impact that human activity can have on the environment. As we reflect on this story, we are reminded of the importance of understanding the past and its impact on the present, and of working towards a more sustainable and equitable future. And as we drift off to sleep, we can ponder the quiet reflection that the world is a complex and interconnected place, and that our actions can have far-reaching consequences. It's a chilly winter morning in 1492, and you're standing on the docks of the port city of Lisbon, Portugal. The sun is slowly rising over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the bustling harbor. You can smell the salt water and the freshly caught fish being sold by the local vendors. Amidst the chaos, you notice a young man, probably in his mid-20s, standing at the edge of the dock, gazing out at the sea. His name is Ferdinand, and he's a sailor who has just returned from a long voyage to the Mediterranean. As he looks out at the horizon, you can sense a mix of emotions in his eyes, a sense of wonder, a hint of sadness, and a spark of curiosity. He's thinking about the stories he's heard of new lands and new trade routes, and he's wondering what lies beyond the edge of the known world. As you watch Ferdinand, you notice the sounds of the harbor, the creaking of the wooden ships, the seagulls crying overhead, and the murmur of the crowd. The atmosphere is lively, with people from all walks of life rushing to and fro, each with their own story to tell. You see merchants haggling over prices, sailors swapping tales of their adventures, and travelers seeking guidance on their journeys. It's a time of great change and great opportunity, and you can feel the excitement in the air. Ferdinand is just one of many young men who have been drawn to the sea, inspired by the stories of explorers and traders who have ventured into the unknown. He's heard tales of the riches that can be found in the East, of the spices and textiles that can be traded for gold and silver. He's also heard stories of the dangers that lie ahead of treacherous seas, fierce storms, and hostile lands. But Ferdinand is undeterred, driven by a sense of adventure and a desire to make his mark on the world. As you stand there, watching Ferdinand and the bustling harbor, you begin to realize that this is a moment of great significance. The world is on the cusp of a new era, an era of discovery and exploration that will change the course of history. The voyages of discovery that are about to take place will establish new trade routes, lead to the colonization of newly discovered lands, and transfer plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. The impact of these events will be felt for centuries to come, shaping the modern world in ways that are still being felt today. You notice a group of sailors gathered around a large map, spread out on a wooden table. They are studying the map intently, tracing the routes that they'll be taking on their next voyage. You see the outlines of Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Atlantic, and you notice the blank spaces that represent the unknown. The sailors are discussing the best routes to take, the safest harbors to stop in, and the most valuable commodities to trade. They are aware of the risks, but they are also aware of the potential rewards, and they are driven by a sense of curiosity and a desire to explore. As you listen to their conversation, you begin to appreciate the complexity of the world they are living in. The age of discovery is not just about exploration and trade. It's also about politics, economics, and culture. The voyages of discovery are being driven by a combination of factors, including the desire for wealth, the need for resources, and the quest for knowledge. The sailors and traders are not just individuals. They are also representatives of their countries, their cultures, and their religions. You look back at Ferdinand, who's still standing at the edge of the dock, gazing out at the sea. You sense that he's thinking about the bigger picture, about the way that the world is changing and the role that he might play in that change. He's aware that the voyages of discovery are not just about individual achievement. They are also about the collective progress of humanity. And as you watch him, you begin to realize that the legacy of the age of discovery is not just about the events that took place. It's also about the people who lived through them and the way that they responded to the challenges and opportunities that they faced. The sun is rising higher in the sky, casting a warm glow over the harbor. The sounds of the crowd are fading into the background, and you're left with a sense of calm and a sense of wonder. You're aware that you're standing at the threshold of a new era, an era that will be marked by great change and great discovery. And as you look out at the sea, you can't help but feel a sense of excitement and a sense of curiosity about what lies ahead. As you stand there, the warm glow of the harbor still fading from your eyes, you begin to think about the people who will be setting sail into this new era. Men like Ferdinand Magellan, who will soon lead the first expedition to circumnavigate the globe, and women like Maria de Toledo, who will travel to the New World as a settler, carrying with her the hopes and dreams of a new life. You wonder what it will be like for them to leave behind the familiar and set out into the unknown, to establish new trade routes and colonies in the lands they discover. The sounds of the crowd may be fading, but the sense of possibility and promise that fills the air is only just beginning to grow. As the days turn into weeks and the weeks turn into months, the harbor becomes a hub of activity, with ships coming and going, carrying cargo and passengers to and from the New World. You see the excitement in the eyes of the sailors and settlers, the sense of adventure that drives them to explore and discover new lands. And you begin to realize that this is not just a moment in time, but the beginning of a new era, an era that will be marked by great change and great discovery. The Age of Discovery, as it will come to be known, will have a lasting impact on the world, leading to significant cultural, economic, and geographic changes. You think about the new trade routes that will be established, the exchange of goods and ideas that will take place between the old and new worlds. You imagine the ships sailing across the oceans, carrying spices and textiles, precious metals, and exotic animals. And you wonder what it will be like for the people who will be living in the colonies, the settlers who will be building new lives in the new world. Will they be able to adapt to the new climate, the new customs, and the new way of life? Will they be able to overcome the challenges that they will face and build a new society that is fair and just for all? As you ponder these questions, you begin to notice the changes that are taking place in the harbor. New buildings are being constructed, new ships are being built, and new people are arriving every day. The sense of excitement and possibility is palpable, and you can't help but feel a sense of wonder and awe at the sheer scale of what is happening. The Age of Discovery is not just a moment in time, but a movement that will change the course of history and shape the world in ways that are still being felt today. You see the impact of the Voyages of Discovery on the people who are living in the old world. You see the new foods that are being introduced, the new crops that are being grown, and the new animals that are being domesticated. You see the changes in the way people are living, the new technologies that are being developed, and the new ideas that are being shared. And you begin to realize that the Age of Discovery is not just about exploration and colonization, but about the exchange of ideas and cultures, the transfer of knowledge and technology, and the creation of a new global community. As the years pass, you see the legacy of the Age of Discovery unfolding. You see the establishment of new trade routes, the growth of new cities, and the development of new industries. You see the impact of the colonization of the New World on the indigenous populations, the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds, and the creation of new societies and cultures. And you begin to understand that the Age of Discovery is not just a moment in time, but a process that will continue to shape the world for centuries to come. You think about the people who will be affected by the changes that are taking place. You think about the sailors and settlers, the indigenous populations, and the people who will be living in the colonies. You wonder what it will be like for them to be living in a world that is changing so rapidly, to be facing challenges and opportunities that are unprecedented in human history. And you begin to realize that the Age of Discovery is not just a story about exploration and colonization, but a story about people, a story about the human experience, and a story about the complexities and challenges of building a new world. As you stand there looking out at the sea, you feel a sense of calm and a sense of wonder. You know that the Age of Discovery is a complex and multifaceted process, a process that will have far-reaching consequences for the world. And you begin to understand that the legacy of this era will be felt for centuries to come, shaping the world in ways that are still being felt today. The sense of excitement and possibility that fills the air is still there, but it is no longer a sense of urgency or anxiety. Instead, it is a sense of calm and a sense of wonder, a sense of awe at the sheer scale and complexity of what is happening. You take a deep breath, feeling the cool ocean air fill your lungs. You look out at the sea, watching as the ships sail across the horizon, and you begin to feel a sense of peace, a sense of closure, and a sense of wonder at the legacy of the Age of Discovery. The world is changing, and it will never be the same again. But as you stand there, looking out at the sea, you know that you are a part of something much bigger than yourself, something that will continue to unfold for centuries to come. As the sun begins to set, casting a warm glow over the harbor, you feel a sense of calm and a sense of wonder. You know that the Age of Discovery is a story about people, a story about the human experience, and a story about the complexities and challenges of building a new world. And you begin to understand that the legacy of this era will be felt for centuries to come, shaping the world in ways that are still being felt today. The sense of excitement and possibility that fills the air is still there, but it is no longer a sense of urgency or anxiety. Instead, it is a sense of calm and a sense of wonder, a sense of awe at the sheer scale and complexity of what is happening. You feel your eyes growing heavy, your breath slowing down. The sounds of the harbor are fading into the background, and you're left with a sense of peace and a sense of wonder. You know that the Age of Discovery is a complex and multifaceted process, a process that will continue to shape the world for centuries to come. And you begin to understand that the legacy of this era will be felt for centuries to come, shaping the world in ways that are still being felt today. As you drift off to sleep, you're left with a sense of calm and a sense of wonder, a sense of awe at the sheer scale and complexity of what is happening. It's a chilly winter morning in 1520, and a young Portuguese sailor named João is standing on the docks of Lisbon, watching as a group of merchants unload a shipment of exotic spices and textiles from a newly arrived ship. The smell of saltwater and damp wood fills the air, and the sound of seagulls crying overhead adds to the sense of excitement and possibility that hangs over the scene. As João looks on, he can't help but feel a sense of pride and wonder at the vast network of trade routes that have been established in recent years, connecting Europe to the rest of the world in ways that were previously unimaginable. The Voyages of Discovery that began in the late 15th century had a profound impact on the world, leading to the transfer of plants, animals, and human populations between the old and new worlds. As a result, the ecosystems of entire continents were altered, and new forms of agriculture and commerce were established. The effects of this process can still be seen today in the crops that are grown in fields around the world, and in the diverse populations that inhabit the cities and towns of Europe, Africa, and the Americas. As Joe walks through the streets of Lisbon, he sees the evidence of this process all around him. The city is filled with people from all over the world, speaking different languages and practicing different customs. There are African slaves who were brought to Europe by Portuguese traders, and there are also merchants and sailors from Italy, France, and other parts of Europe who have come to Lisbon to trade and do business. The city is a vibrant and dynamic place, full of energy and activity, and Joe feels grateful to be a part of it. One of the most significant consequences of the Age of Discovery was the establishment of new trade routes and the expansion of existing ones. The Portuguese, in particular, played a major role in this process, establishing a network of trade routes that stretched from Europe to Asia and the Americas. They brought back spices, textiles, and other luxury goods, which they sold at a huge profit, and they also established colonies and trading posts in various parts of the world. The wealth and power that flowed from these trade routes helped to fuel the growth of European cities and to establish the foundations of modern capitalism. As the years passed, the impact of the Age of Discovery continued to be felt. The transfer of plants and animals between the old and new worlds had a profound impact on the ecosystems of entire continents. In the Americas, for example, the introduction of European crops, such as wheat and barley, led to the displacement of native crops, and the introduction of European animals, such as pigs and chickens, led to the decline of native species. The effects of this process can still be seen today in the altered landscapes and ecosystems of the Americas, and in the diverse populations that inhabit the cities and towns of the region. The legacy of the Age of Discovery can also be seen in the modern world, in the globalized economy and the interconnected systems of trade and commerce that exist today. The process of globalization that began in the 15th century continues to shape the world, as people and goods move across borders and oceans, and as cultures and economies intersect and interact. The Age of Discovery was a complex and multifaceted process, and its legacy continues to be felt in many different ways, from the food we eat to the languages we speak, and from the cities we live in to the cultures we practice. As Joe stands on the docks of Lisbon, watching the ships come and go, he can't help but feel a sense of awe and wonder at the sheer scale and complexity of the process that is unfolding before him. The world is changing rapidly, and the consequences of these changes will be felt for centuries to come. And as he drifts off to sleep that night, surrounded by the sounds and smells of the city, he is filled with a sense of calm and a sense of wonder, a sense of awe at the sheer scale and complexity of what is happening, and a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to be a part of it. The legacy of the Age of Discovery will continue to shape the world for generations to come, a reminder of the power of human curiosity and the importance of exploration and discovery.